Salutare prieteni și bine v-am găsit la un episod de Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Să continuăm. În episodul anterior ne-am ocupat de misiunea cabaret, iar în timpul acestei misiuni, în timp ce manevram noi acolo chestii, am primit o veste destul de tristă, cum că Priscilla a fost atacată. Am mers la locul faptei și acolo Priscilla, mama, arăta oribil, desfigurată la modul ăla. Se afla într-o situație foarte nasoală, care era foarte critică și Dan de la și-a făcut griji și era foarte furios, ne-a cerut ajutorul să aflăm cine este făptașul și dacă îl vom găsi să-l omorâm. Și acum mergem cu Joachim Vorgratz la ăsta zi. Mamă că nu vine cuvântul în minte acum. Mergem să examinăm pe ăla, să vedem ce se întâmplă. Avem drowneri, avem în canalizări. Oh, n-ai și un de ăla, incredibil. A venit un cabulangiule. Mamă, de level 17, vreau serios? Și-a aruncat cu ceva în mine. Scuipat, a aruncat cu scuipat în mine. Norocita. Bă, e foarte OP. Foarte OP peștitura. Și mi s-a stricat ceva? Ce mi s-a mai stricat acum? Am mâncat și curata. Și de ce am căcatul ăsta de armă la stil? What the fuck? Așa, broderii. De-aia, da. Mai zic nimic. Bă, vreau să repar și eu asta. Bam, așa. Ca să fie treaba. Bă, acum dau ăștia, incredibil, dacă nu te ferești, pur și simplu te lovesc.
Priscilla, how's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a
Uite și ăsta cu o pușcă în mână. Ești nebun?
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
Mai cu arbaletă, nu cu o pușcă. Wow, are arbaletă omul. Aha. Super. Uite cum merge. Nenorocitul.
Take the ladder.
Bun, hai să luăm asta și să urcăm.
This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Custody. Very well.
Deci am ajuns la morgă. Pe asta ar trebui să le examinăm. Bine, ar trebui să examinăm pe toți să vedem.
Calluses on the fingers,
Yeah.
sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Ok, și investigăm toate cap, picioare, mâini și așa mai departe.
His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
Right. Never mind. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot, the ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard, right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies, we surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
And a different sense of humor.
Ok, hands, ia să vedem.
Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Abdomenia.
Open
Yeah,
the
so
abdominal
this kid-
cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Mamă, ce te-ai
Wait a
pus
minute,
acolo
there's
să
something
moară
else.
Gigi. Ah. Bine că nu arată cum îl desface. O, ce a găsit acolo?
An egg from an... A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken,
găsit un
or
nou
this is
acolo,
our Mercury's
lol.
doing.
Salamandra. Bun, și căpățâna.
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
Exact ca la Priscilla are.
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems, very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Ok, cred că astea au fost toate
Alright,
chestii pe
I
care
think I
trebuie să
know
știm.
enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
Ce-a fost? Cred că a fost un ritual. Un criminal nebun. Nu cred că a fost un ritual.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets.
Pentru că a făcut așa, a sunat mai mult a ritual cu ardere.
All centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
Fire eternal, exact.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted, drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
Ia să vedem unde a fost găsit.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirets was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, your reverence.
Who are
Cu
these
asta care
people?
că trebuie să vorbim.
I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why do you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Cu mare asta o lumânare acolo. La piept.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the eternal fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job. Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
Ok, nu o
Don't
să
aim to
presăm.
press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Bun. Trebuie să investigăm unde a fost Priscilla atacată. De au murit ăla, ok, Woodcarver. Mai este de corpse collector. În regulă. Dar le luăm așa pe rând. Exact cum le-a dat jocul.
Wonder what this means.
Până să mă uit aici la o chestie. Bun. Stare curios, cine e ăsta? Chiar nu mai mi-aduc aminte. Tare curios sunt. Cum fi acest criminal în serie? Ce vrea la urmă să facă?
Hey, handsome.
A brazier. This time of year? Human. Priscilla's?
Mai e ceva pe aici?
How am I to know? Watch him, see what he does.
Remember good people that like a bit of fire. Am găsit aceea scăsorică și se pare că au venit mărlănuie. Ia vină tu cu bulangiule. Nu poți să scoate sabia? Așa. Așa.
Think you'll gut me too, huh? Up your ass, deviant! Hoes can fight back!
Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you doing here?
Getting vengeance. Well, why are you staring? Have you not heard killers always return to the scene of their crime? Me and my brothers are waiting here to give him a warm welcome. For Priscilla. Almost did her in, the whole son.
I know. Here to look for clues and find anyone who might know something.
Fear I can't help you much. But I can tell you what I know.
Ia, să auzim.
Priscilla wasn't the sole victim. You aware of that?
Oh, dearie. Of course I was. This didn't start yesterday. Others have died like this before. Beggars, street
Se pare că alții au
girls,
murit și
orphans.
înainte să facă aceste crime.
Human
Pare că
rubbish.
acest criminal nu se ocupe de acum, bineînțeles.
Recall any names?
They didn't have proper ones. Baldy, curly,
Ma'am.
bugs. That's what folk called them. No friends, no families. Their bodies were burned long ago.
Ia să vedem dacă e prietenă cu Priscilla.
You and Priscilla friends?
Friends? Nah. But she saw more than a stupid whore in me. Treated me with respect. It mattered. I was looking to give up whoring. Pick up a decent trade. But none would take me. Not as a washerwoman, nor a servant, nor a cook. Felt like a leper, I did. But Priscilla, she was different. Agreed to put me in her play, you see? Lots of the other actors, they were afraid on account of her jesting about the eternal fire. Whistling Wendy on stage, can you imagine it? Well, dream's gone now. I'm back to working street corners.
Sorry to hear that.
You could do worse as work goes. Or so I tell myself.
Bine.
Take care now. I gotta look around some more. Appreciate it if you didn't disturb me.
Naturally, we'll stand aside, behave. But do tell us if you find anything else here.
Bun, hai să investigăm mai mult. E această urmă,
I know
da.
that smell.
Yeah.
Formaldehyde.
Aha.
Man's footprint. The murderer's maybe. Weight on his heel. Took a step back.
Bun.
Human. Priscilla's.
Gata, mă, gata. Bun, hai să mergem în locul unde a fost omorât ăla. De ce nu se deschid astea? Așa. Așa. Și după aia trebuie să mergem să vorbim cu Eustace. Asta ar fi ultima misiune pe care o mai avem aici în Velen, prieteni. După care o să ne ocupăm de cele puncte de interes.
Anyone home?
Be gone, or I'll sick me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer. Looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit, you stupid mutts, lie down. Come on in. Slowly now, listen.
Ia uite-l, bă. Charming, cred.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. But better backing dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. Soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I ran to a mate who raised his fighting dogs. Bought these 2 mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
Ce mărz are așa, cred că în
What
el.
will be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
Hai să aflăm dacă a avut de șumani
It
ăsta.
was Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, you were a good dwarf. Craftsman like no other. But you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag," and other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her? This dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. Her pont said a fever took her.
Ce mai multe despre
Tell me what
criminal?
you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
It was like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss him burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claim not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleating orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. They care about some dwarf.
Fine, we've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.
Haha. Grijă cu cățelul. Bun, hai să examinăm.
Bloodstains.
That's where Fabian lay when they found him.
Știți că la intrată în Novigrad au fost arși niște... Dar acum nu știu dacă are legătură.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones. Someone dragged something across the floor. Or dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly.
Remember, good people, the fire can be both the blessing and the curse. Flames, fire can prepare. Și asta ce cu asta? Asta am găsit un script aia. Ok, mai găsim ceva indicii pe aici? Ia, putem să intrăm aici înăuntru oare?
Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian. But I'll open it for you if you want.
Aici trebuie să găsim ceva
More
șmecheranos.
bloodstains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless somebody got rid of the blood. Left a few stains behind. Formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it. Furniture got knocked over. This looks like it was kicked.
Bun, și cam asta a fost, nu? A rămas decât să vorbim cu ăla. Bine, zbrodere, hai să dăm să zacă.
Oh God, the Reapers come for me.
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim.
O, se pare că o altă
Told me
victimă.
to say
Oh.
the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can. Oh.
Bun, mai întâi să vorbim cu ăsta și după aia să vorbim cu ălaltul.
You, Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue.
Oh, yeah, I remember. No ice, no art, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had
Mamă,
to
ce e
pieces
acolo?
to fit her in me wheelbarrow.
Da sânge.
Slippery sow, they called her, on account of the...
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame they yours.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid. You searched Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets, made sure nothing went to waste.
Bă, ce mă enervează cum se încălcește cablul ăsta. Să-mi iau anticriști neapărat.
And I call a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you a tax collector? Peace off, mutant.
That hard up for coin? Fine, have some. Now talk. What did you find on him?
Triflings, baubles, gloss-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
Mi-aduce aminte de un film tot așa. De însemna și după aia de merle. Hai să nu-l rănim chiar. Aș fi dat o bucată așa. Un pumn în freze. Bine, data asta a fost resoarea, nu știu. Hai să o citim. Aiba știi care mai e? Nu cred că e asta, nu. O, nu putem, ba da, cred că asta e, da, că e concenecisă. Ba nu, asta mai citit odată de fapt, da, good people, oameni buni și oameni răi.
Geralt, right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you, especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter, and I know who you are, what drives you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and capricious. He stormed in here once, grabbed a scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenford Academy.
Dar vedeți că iar numai pe ăștia așa mai, adică nu iar o țară nu e.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Yeah, mortal sin in Novigrad. By the way, you and von Gratz don't exactly get along. Why is that?
I had him sent to prison. You see, Joachim led the student protests in 1242, a senseless and brutal revolt. People were dying, Witcher. Those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning, their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. So I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
How old's von Gratz? 50? 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of
E un pic așa vârsta.
In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Amusing, is it not?
Hai să începem autopsia.
Let's start.
Gladly.
Din nou să investigăm și să examinăm și...
To the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde.
Deci că urmărim un film acum, nu ne mai jucăm, să moară Biblianos cât a spiciu. Da, ăsta e jocul.
What's this? A parchment made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim. Patricia Vegelbud.
Asta ar fi următoarea
Yes. Even went to the
victimă.
state once.
Interesant.
Gotta find her now.
Trebuie să o găsim neapărat pentru că asta ar fi... Mamă, ar fi super nașpa. Patricia Vegelbud. Hai să mergem repede Janos. Noi ne-am mai întâlnit cu ea.
Till next time, master.
Vreau să mă duc eu cu un teleportation până acolo. E ceva de mers. Și da, mai va dura ceva până îl vom găsi pe ăsta, probabil. Cred că ne-am venit aici cu Tris. Normal, lasă să intru înăuntru. Trebuie să vedeți cu Patricia.
Need to talk to Patricia Vegelbud.
You think any bum off the street can...
Her life's in danger. Let me in or have her blood
Poate
on
să iei
your
în
hands.
pericol.
If you thought this up, and I'll let you in, I'll throw my ass out the door.
Always thought a guard was supposed to protect his charge, not his ass.
So be it. I'll take you to Lady Vegelbud. Just no trickery. Understand?
Vai. Eu mai tem eu de voi. Uite-o. Încă e în viață.
Oh, Geralt.
Nu, de fapt asta cred că e sora sa, de fapt. Da.
Pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
De fapt, pe măsa trebuie să o vedem.
Come now.
Da, le-am confundat cu alea alte două.
She seems sad, true, but in perfect health.
I'm hunting a serial killer, and I've got reason to believe your mother will be his next victim.
Why, even if it's true, our gods.
He's exceptionally cruel when he kills, tortures his victims, cuts out their hearts. So let's see how she is, just in case.
I find this all very hard to believe, but you appear to be quite serious. Please, follow me.
Hai să mergem să vedem. Dacă mai fi în viață acum.
A fire fit for Bellatane, except it's the wrong time of year.
I mentioned Mother seemed sad. Do you remember? In fact,
Hai mai repede că
she's
dacă stăm
always
așa
in
ajungem
the
mâine.
A rather serious one.
La
We'd
următoare.
been to Novigrad. Mother had seen the pyres in Hierarch Square, uttered not a word on our way home. She had all the holy books, insignias, reliquaries gathered, taken outside and burnt. Then she locked herself in her room.
We need to hurry.
Ia.
Hear that? Calm and quiet. All seems to be in order.
We should go in, just to be sure.
You're relentless, aren't you? Fine. But wait here, please. Mother's certainly not in the mood for guests. He ran out the other door! Catch him!
What? Trebuie să-l urmărim pe criminal fix acum. A, pune căcat, o luat-o pe aici pe jos. Altă dată, puișori. L-am văzut pe nemernic. Bă, ce aveți cu mine? Băgați-i serma nasă, ăștia vor să mă bată acum pe mine. Hai veniți voi încă bulangilor. Ce s-a întâmplat?
Halt! For I put a bolt between your eyes.
Listen, you got the wrong guy.
Save your trickery.
Ăștia cred că noi suntem...
Well, killer's already escaped. Lead the way, hero.
Lead the way.
We got him, Lady Ingrid. Wasn't easy, but...
Lower that crossbow before you hurt yourself. This man is innocent.
Forgive me. I saw him running. Thought it was the killer fleeing.
I was chasing him, and I'd have caught him if you hadn't gotten in my way.
O prindea dacă nu te băgai, bulangiule.
mother. Why did he do this to her? Why?
E nașpa.
Because she blasphemed the eternal fire, only thing that ties her to the other victims. Ingrid, I know this is a hard time for you, but usually the killer leaves a note on the body, a note indicating his next victim.
Nu, trebuie să aflăm care e următoarea victimă.
Very well.
Una ce rapid e
You
asta.
should be on your own. I do not wish to see her in this state. I do not wish to remember her like that. And let her be the last victim. Please.
Holy shit,
Bruises,
man.
broken fingernails. She defended herself. Must be why it took him longer, and why he almost got caught. Here it is. Sweet Nettie, Crippled Kate's. Growing bolder, not just the name but the place too. Won't get away this time.
Ia, mai putem să facem ceva pe aici?
Same wounds as the previous victims. Examination would be a waste of time. Gotta get to Crippled Kate's, fast.
Așa și eu aia. Așa. Următoarea. Da, e aceeași scrisoare. Toate scrie la fel. Mișto. Bun, trebuie să ne întoarcem înapoi în Novigrad. Mamă, e nebun ăsta oricum. E nebun rău de Tortinos. Da, și când îl prind. E mai ceva ca Verson Junior. Bine, că și ăla omoră foarte mult. Mamă, numai nebune în Novigradul ăsta, jur. Numai nebunii. De ce nu ia pe ăștia? Uite ăștia, ce omul pe aici, bețăvani ăștia, uite. Curvanul ăsta. Ăștia, da. Ia și ei, oameni importanți.
So, what's it gonna be?
Cred că trebuie să intrăm înăuntru, nu? Probabil. Dar nu pe aici.
Sweet Nettie, where is she?
Upstairs. But she's with a very important client. Do not disturb them.
Este un client foarte important, să nu deranjăm, zice asta. Important înseamnă că e Jeleanos.
Same as last time.
Take care.
A, cred că trebuie să o luăm noi sus, am impresia. Da, probabil că da, este așa.
I like you. Like to spend the night with you.
You won't be disappointed.
Hai să urcăm la Upstairs-anos. Da, cred că e bine. Sau nu e bine? Ok, noi ne... Oh my god. Noi ne distrăm în loc să aflăm cine e criminalul. Bă, așa am ajuns. Am bine. Înainte să faci o treabă trebuie să te și distrezi o leacă. Bine, asta e îmbrăcată. Bă. Încă una trecută pe lista la bine, că dacă vrem o să le trecem cu găruța. Că noi ce trei ai bordelul, veți, poți să faci asta de câte ori vrei tu. Uite ce bine se simte Geralt, a și uitat de criminal. Ce-a bănit.
Black ones, Redanians. As long as they pay and don't hit.
Looking for something
Da, da,
unusual.
cred că trebuie să urcăm noi sus. Am impresia. Ia. Mă vine actresuri cu una de aia, dar am înșelat.
No one will hear you, bitch. Not a soul.
You, though? Whole town will hear you in a minute.
Ăsta e?
Again you disturb me, and I so dislike being
Exact ăla cu ce am...
I was to play with Sweet Nettie, render her not so sweet, but I shall see to you first.
First, gotta tell me why you do it.
For pleasure.
Măcar să știm de ce. Să te... Bulangiule.
Ways, many traditional. Doesn't take killing them, trust me.
Who said anything about killing? I could stop at a few burns. 3rd degree, but still. This rosy skin will roast quite well.
Nu pot, nu pot. Pur și simplu.
No one's forcing you to, mutant.
Ok, trebuie să-l omorâm. Ia vină cu bulangiule. Bulangiule, bulangiule. Așa. Ce asta era? Măcar să o eliberăm pe asta. Deci a fost singura victimă pe care am putut să o salvăm.
He asked if I did everything, and I said, for the right price, of course. And then he smiled. Oh God, it gave me the shivers. And then he hit me so hard I passed out. I was bound when I came to, and he was hitting the poker in the fire.
Calm down. He won't hurt you anymore. He won't hurt anyone.
Da. Nu va mai răni pe nimeni de acum încolo. Bulangiu. Hai să mergem la Dandelion să vedem. Nu se mai simte Priscilla. Dacă este bine. Să-i dăm și vestea cea bună că l-am merlit pe criminal, mamă. Chiar ăla a fost, nu mă gândeam. Cineva cu care am mai vorbit, adică totuși. Da. Știu.
You seen the new waitresses?
No. They're worth seeing.
The eternal fire protects us.
Eternal Fire. Da, vă dau eu numai Eternal Fire îndată. E aici, mâncați-o și gura ta. A, e o altă scrisoare, acea scrisoare, poți să dau la pariu. Da, eu nu zic. Te țipă ăștia pe aici. What the fuck?
How's
better, right?
Mai bine. E bine că nu a murit, adică celelalte victime au murit. Bine. Nu știu cum a scăpat Priscilla, dar...
Yeah. The Witcher's way.
Thank you, Geralt. From me and Priscilla.
Don't mention it. Nothing a friend wouldn't do. She's talking again. Nice surprise.
Isn't it? Professor von Gratz told me her wounds are healing faster than a troll's. Not the most flattering comparison, but encouraging. Maybe she might even sing again someday. For now, we'll try performing as a duo. She'll play the lute, I'll sing. Dandelion and Calinetta. Got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Sounds great. Good luck, Dandelion. On stage and off.
Bun, și cam asta a fost, nu? Da, cam asta a fost și misiunea. Nu știu dacă mai putem vorbi cu ea. Okay.
Sorry, Geralt. Sorry, Geralt.
Say no more. Get well soon.
Da.
Sorry, Geralt. My throat's still quiet.
Chiar îmi pare rău.
Say no more. Get
Dar
well soon.
Dandelion stă aici și o privește. Va avea grijă de ea. Da, prieteni, cam asta a fost episodul, a fost și ultima misiune din Velen pe care o putem face la momentul ăsta. Mai sunt, de fapt, niște contracte, dar nu le putem face, că sunt de level mare. O să ne ocupăm de punctele de interes din episoadele următoare. Dacă v-a plăcut, nu uitați, dați acolo un mare like, un subscribe și un share. Eu am fost Mitică, toate cele bune, respect, pa, pa!